happened to him. And so today, we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to gather in solidarity for both George Floyd and Marcus David Peters. We'll have a few speakers, and then we'll go and march upon our way. We're going to take a few stops. We'll make it to a final location, and we hope that y'all will respect the space that we're building here today together. Y'all with it? Yeah. I said, are y'all with it? Yeah. Are we hyped? Yeah. Are we ready to fight for justice? Yeah. Are we ready to continue to fight for our freedom? Yeah. We ain't getting co-opted by national, local, state media. Fuck that. We are not here for co-optation. We're here for freedom. Justice. Justice. And we know there is no peace without justice. So we have speakers coming here today. If we can just orient the crowd perhaps just a little bit further to where Chelsea is, and while we're chanting, back up, we want our freedom, freedom.
Back up. All these killer cops, we don't need them.
Back up, we want our freedom, freedom.
Back up, we want our freedom.
All these killer cops, we don't need them.
All these killer cops, we don't need them.
Back up, we want our freedom.
Back up, we want our freedom.
We don't want killer cops, we don't want no cops. That's how it is. So they're telling us that we can't defund the police. We're saying we don't want police. They kill us. So we have some speakers. We're going to start off with the amazing and wonderful Chelsea Higgs-Wise.
Thanks so much, Clea. Thanks for being here, y'all. How many of you all have been tuning in at all to city council meetings? Clap it up. Raise your hand, clap it up. Thank you. So I also am really excited that we came off the sidewalk and took up some space in the street. I think it's important to make sure we're taking up the space, and that you all were also taking up space at these city council meetings. How many people have been watching city council meetings before the revolution starts? Clap it up. If you haven't, that's all right. I know that it's been different watching it this time. I know 2 years ago when we watched city council and they discussed Marcus David Peters. Oh wait. They did not discuss Marcus David Peters. We went and we testified. We said our comments and they literally sat silent. Even the people that are championing it now, and we are thankful for their voices today, but we do ask, what changed from 2 years ago? How do I know next year when the cameras aren't here that you won't go back to what we knew 2 years ago? Or, yeah, clap that up. In fact, how do I know that you won't go back to where you were 6 months ago fighting us against the Navy Hill Complex proposal? Justice is commercialized. Be careful of it, watch it, pay attention and listen. The best type of education comes right here in the streets when you're talking to your neighbors and talking to the people that you didn't before. I'm really excited to know and hear and see people talking about public comment, talking about city council, talking about it right here and online, but it's going to be important that we keep this same energy even when it's COVID back up and we're all locked down. You know it's coming. Even when they say you gotta stay in your streets, you can't even go out and vote. It's coming. It's gonna be important, y'all, that we continue this fight. And today, since the family of George Floyd is here in Richmond to tell his story, to show his face, we want to show up in solidarity with him. On the same day that Richmond went up, on May 29th, the world got upset because there was some bullshit charge to finally come down on George Floyd murderers. It was like 3rd-degree manslaughter, something I had never heard of before. But it was that bullshit charge that united the entire globe. And what all we're here asking in Richmond is for the case to Did that same sense and rationale and value in our black bodies just start yesterday?
No.
So this is why our demands continue. We must reopen the case of Marcus David Peters. We must continue to watch the Public Safety Committee that is ran by Reva Trammell. We know that yes, it is an absolute no. She may be registered as a Richmond City Democrat, but she has been thanking the President of the United States at every city council meeting since she has been elected. Every city council meeting, this woman thanks 45. She's the head of the Public Safety Committee. Guess who's vice chair of the Public Safety Committee? Kim Gray. Today they had a Public Safety Committee meeting and they were talking about banning chemical weapons.
And they didn't.
Mike Jones got up there, it was his legislation, and he said the least you can do is to push this bill along with no recommendations so that the city council can hear it. The full city council, not just the three on the committee of Reva Trammell, Kim Gray, and Chris Hilbert, who's not even running for re-election. Amy in the 8th is who we gotta put in there besides Reva, y'all. The point is that they still said no. They did not allow for even the option to ban the chemical weapons that have been used on us. They said, no. You know what? Hey, Chief Smith, instead of just banning these chemical weapons, how about you go back, do a study, do a report, and tell me what can we replace these chemical weapons with? And you know what? Let's give you some time. We don't need to bring this back up again until September 22nd. They have stalled. They are hoping we go to sleep. They are hoping we are no longer paying attention. But on September 22nd, we will still be in the streets. We will still be making noise, and we will still be ensuring that our demands are met. Clap it all the way the fuck up. My comrade right here, Jasmine, because I'm a low-key history nerd that talks about political narratives as well, is that when we were talking about solidarity in Minneapolis, I was just looking at the historical alignments that have happened not just in the South, but all over the fucking country when it comes to black neighborhoods, and that was that Minneapolis in the 1960s, one of the biggest and most successful black neighborhoods, was destroyed by
An interstate.
Wow. What's happening is not new. The tactics that they're pulling on you, on me, your favorite Democrat council people, this is not new. They're happening all over the country and they've done it in history. Don't let this be something else that they hoodwink us with. I'm grateful for you all being here. I'm grateful for you listening. And I'm grateful to introduce the very next speaker that we have coming up. A woman that's brought us all together and continues to fight in the stance, who's unapologetic, who is here to make sure that her family, for the entire city of Richmond, for the Commonwealth, and for this nation, finds justice for black bodies in crisis. Please put your hands together for the sister of Marcus David Peters, Mrs. Princess Blanding.
Thank you, Chelsea. And I want to thank everybody that's out here, and I do have a lot to say. I'm gonna first start off by saying, Richmond community, we've been doing a damn thing. And don't lose that energy, okay? We still have a lot of work to do. Please don't allow some of the narratives that are coming out to make us become content and to make us back down. So I wanna first start off by talking about the Jefferson for just a second. This is a very tough space for me to be in, so excuse me, as this is where my brother's last moments were. Before, where things started to fall apart for Marcus. He was an employee here, security, at the Jefferson Hotel, and if you watch the video footage, you see his car driving up in a circle, him going into the Jefferson, waving, and then things started to go downhill right here in this building. And no one at the Jefferson Hotel that he worked for a while, before he even started teaching, picked up the phone and called any of his emergency contacts to say that something wasn't right, to allow family to step in. I don't understand the reason to have emergency contacts and we're not going to use it. So the Jefferson Hotel has a lot of accountability. I want to again state that we're out here today in extreme love and solidarity for the family of George Floyd, which is, they're here now in Richmond, and we will see them, okay? And at the same breath, understand that we have our own George Floyd, and his name is Marcus David Peters. As you all know, Marcus was unjustly murdered during a time where he truly needed help, not death. We have to continue to fight to ensure that having a mental health crisis is never a death sentence. I think we all need to take a moment to reflect. All of City Council, Mayor LeVar Stoney, all of our state legislators, to understand that each and every one of us are a straw away from having a mental health crisis. Whether it's job loss, a relationship that breaks, okay? Every last one of us are just a straw away from having a mental health crisis, and we can never accept that that will result in death. I want to now talk about the city council bullshit meeting yesterday, okay? A lot of people I've seen, tag me, Princess, congratulations, and they're ready to celebrate. I don't find shit to celebrate about right now. Because what's happening is city council members are serving the community some bullshit, and they expect that we're going to go with it. There's no need for us to celebrate them talking about we're going to get a work group together to work on the creation of the Marcus Alert system when my family and supporting organizers have been doing it for 2 years. We have had our first meeting with Mayor LeVar Stoney, with the head of RBHA, with the head of the health district, with communications and so on, to already hammer out the details. So why do we need to start this process again with another group on the city level? But again, it's their way to make the community feel like, oh, here's something that you should celebrate about, but then later on say we're not going to defund the police and put funds towards this Marcus Alert system. I call bullshit on all of them, okay? As far as the Civilian Review Board with subpoena power, so they expect us to celebrate now them saying that they're going to create a task force to go ahead and select people to work out the details for the Civilian Review Board with subpoena power. We don't need any task force because we needed a Civilian Review Board with subpoena power about 100 years ago, okay? We have community members who have been working on these demands for a very long time. And what City Council is doing is making us feel like they're giving us something just to hold us off until election time for them to say that they can't do it. We must continue to hold our elected and appointed officials to the fire. There is nothing to celebrate yet. None of our demands have completely been met. So we need to make sure that we're keeping our eye on the prize. We will continue to stand in solidarity until every last one of our demands are met. McKeechin, you want some bullshit, okay? Because there's no way that we can say that we're going to create a Marcus Alert system for the city, for the state, and still deem my brother's murder a justifiable homicide.
That's right.
I say support that McKeechin up on her high horse. I say that Mayor LeVar Black Pond Stoney. I say to every single community, to every single council member, that if you're not going to get the job done, your ass won't be here much longer. It's real simple. There is time for us to rise up and to bring true leaders in these positions. And if I seem like I'm angry, well, guess what? I'm very unapologetically mad black woman. Okay?
That's right.
Very unapologetic about it. They expect us to continue to allow them to kill our black bodies and sit and say nothing. They waited for the statute of limitations to go out so that we could not file suit against the city according to my brother's murder. They waited for that. They waited for that 2-year statute of limitations to pass. And I'm going to take it another level. We're going to see you today, Benjamin Crump, okay? Benjamin Crump is the attorney who covered Trayvon Martin's case. Benjamin Crump is the attorney who was on Marcus's case, okay? But sold us out for 2 pennies in a blade of grass. Just because it was a black officer, it was a black police chief, it was a black mayor, and it was a black Commonwealth attorney, and they were all Democrats. We are woke people, okay, and we see through the bullshit.
That's right.
Everybody involved will be held accountable. I say to us, as we've been saying since day one, our power is in unity. We cannot allow any degree of division to break us because that's what they're waiting for. That's what they're expecting. We, the people, have a lot of power, and we must not let it be an option. We must continue to use it until every last one of our demands are met. Thank you.
Because the Richmond Police Department.
Because the
Virginia State Police Department.
Because the Virginia State Police Department.
Because the Sheriff's Office.
Because the Sheriff's Office.
Because the VCUPD.
Because the VCUPD.
Won't stop killing.
Won't stop killing.
Won't stop harming.
Won't stop harming.
Won't stop maiming.
Won't stop maiming.
Won't stop surveilling.
Won't stop surveilling.
Won't stop deporting.
Won't stop deporting.
Won't stop evicting.
Won't stop evicting.
Black and brown people in Richmond.
Black and brown people in Richmond.
We will be here.
We will be here
Until our very clear demands.
until our very clear demands
Are fully met.
are fully met.
Do y'all see? To get retweets, to get funding. They didn't stand behind the family 2 years ago. People are coming. The cameras are here. Nothing changes. Our demands have not changed. The demands of the family have not changed, and the case is closed right now. Justifiable homicide. What about what happened to Marcus was justifiable? Princess, I'm mad too. And we all should be, because Marcus should be alive today. He should be here. We shouldn't have to ask for a group to look at a Marcus alert. That could have happened quick, yesterday. We don't need people to talk, we need people to act. So y'all, do not be okay with this. We're gonna talk and be in a group and a task force and this and that. We need action, and we need to be a part of that action. They need to hear our voices. They need to include us in the process. We are the ones that are policed. Our lives are at risk. And they sit up there in the comfort of their homes on Zoom. Saying this and that. We're rioting, we're protesting, we're tearing down the city. We're building a city for all of us. Yes. I have family in jail who have gone through those courthouses. I have friends that are in fear of deportation. I have friends that can't be out here because it's too risky for them. For all those people, they're in solidarity with us too. And we appreciate that, but we need to build and break down these systems that allow them to not even be here with us today. I'll say it again. Marcus should be with us. George should be with us. Brianna should be with us. Natasha should be with us. Tamir should be with us. All of these people should still be with us. Our marches are practically funerals. We be out here censoring Black joy, but we're all so traumatized. I sat outside the jail for 11 hours just a couple days ago while one of my youth suffered a mental health crisis inside the Richmond City Jail. After she was snatched off the streets with a whole bunch of other people. And did they help her? No. Or did they just let her stay in a cell? Y'all, mental health is not something that we deserve to die for. It's not something that needs to be criminalized. We should be helping. We should be creating systems of care. And instead, we have people in our city council that are still saying you should give more money to the police. We have a police chief that says we need more money. He's not hearing defund. Gerald Smith comes from a killer cop department. I have friends that live in Charlotte. They kill people there too. They have restraining orders against them too. He's no professional. He doesn't know what to do with this killer police force that they have put into his hands. They were already shooting us. They were already killing us before Gerald came here. Now we just got another one who's okay, just unleashing his dogs on us. Y'all, if you're gonna keep coming out here, if you're willing to get gas, if you're willing to be at the risk of arrest like you are every time you come out here, know why you're here. Know who you're with. Because when the going gets tough, if they gonna y'all? You about to lose your job.
That's right.
You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. You about